Right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Guys, let's jump into it.
Well, new outrage now after San Francisco's Democratic mayor quietly signed a proposed reparations bill. Eligible recipients could receive $5 million checks, but funding for the program remains a question amid San Francisco's historic budget deficit. Well, let's bring in Fix California senior advisor Katie Zakaria. She's also a political analyst and an attorney. And thank you so much for joining us today, Katie.
Good morning.
I'm going to play something. I want to pull something up first of all, because I'm a bit confused about this reparations bill. Here is one of the quotes from the mayor. He said, "I was elected to drive San Francisco's recovery, and that's what I'm focused on every day. We are not allocating money to this fund. With a historic $1 billion budget deficit, we are going to spend our money on making the city safer and cleaner." But then I'm a bit confused. He announced this bill. He did it in quiet a couple of days before Christmas, and then he says they don't have the money for it. So what's the point of it?
This is truly Nero fiddling while Rome burns. They're at a historic deficit, $1 billion deficit in San Francisco. They can't retain their citizens because it is such a difficult city to live in. They're fleeing at record rates, and yet they're making these empty promises on a reparations bill that can't be funded, and they're not going to allocate funds for to begin with. So what are they doing? They're virtue signaling.
Of course.
They're pretending, they're trying to bring in new voters. They're trying to give these empty promises to residents of San Francisco, hoping they'll believe the hot air. And meanwhile, what are Republicans doing? What has President Trump done? He's actually delivered historic tax cuts. We're going to start seeing this next year through the One Big Beautiful Bill. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and it's actually going to deliver real results for American people, while those in San Francisco are just literally decimating the city and cannot deliver on anything that they're promising.
Yeah, guys, this is not new information, though, right? I mean, if you follow what has been kind of going on politically, at least coming from the left, at least, right? You start to realize that around certain election times, you start to get a lot of, like a lot of hardcore virtue signaling kind of by default. This just sounds like that. Specifically, if they're saying that, hey, listen, we're going to go ahead and give you guys $5 million, but we're not going to fund it. What is that, guys? What is that? What is that, guys?
And in fact, you say this is an attempt to get new voters, but
what's
also
the point of saying it?
NAACP also saying it's providing false
votes.
hopes for people, and this is something they said. They said it will only frustrate, set up, and provide false hopes to black people in San Francisco, thinking they will get $5 million.
That's a wild number.
Be some form of cash payment in installments, but $5 million is an arbitrary number. So this is just really an attempt to get their voters, but it's effectively pulling the wool over their eyes. It's not fair on them at all.
Right, and they're banking on an uninformed electorate. They're hoping that they can give this false promise, bring in new voters, and then not deliver what's asked of them. And this is on top of the historic $1.6 trillion deficit and unrealized liabilities in California. They don't have money and they don't have time to play around any longer. And that is also on top of the fact that California was never a slave-owning state to begin with. So all of these things that they're doing are just, again, false promises, hoping people do not understand what's actually happening behind the curtain in California.
And there's more crisis in California as well, with the Congressman Kana ripping into Gavin Newsom's budget. And some people are calling this a potential preview of 2028. And here's what the Congressman said. He said, "In 2026, I will be working on a bipartisan basis on oversight to request hearings on state government's high-risk programs, including California, that have led to illegal payments and eligibility errors. I will also work on legislation to call for a full independent audit of California's budget." And so, look, more concerns about the fraud in California, more people looking over there, but what's happening with the infighting there amongst the party?
Well, Ro Khanna is looking to gain national profile. I think he even said that. He's looking at a potential presidential run, so he sees Gavin Newsom as his opponent. But this is what I want. Ro Khanna, if you want to do this audit and look at the funds in California, please go ahead and do it. I will believe it when I see it, because where were you when all of the money was being spent on COVID, all of the fraud, waste, and abuse on the train to nowhere, the boondoggle train to nowhere? Where was he?
That was a lot of money spent on that train, guys.
account all of a sudden because Gavin Newsom's gaining momentum for a presidential run. And this is also, let's be clear, Ro Khanna has proposed a 5% tax on billionaires in California, a wealth tax, which will drive out some of our most successful Californians.
Yeah, they're going crazy right now out there.
Fund illegal immigrant health care that decimated our Medi-Cal budget. So Ro Khanna is speaking out of both sides of his mouth, and I will honestly be so happy if he does audit the $72 billion fraud in California.
That's a lot of money.
So Republicans don't have to.
That's absolutely. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Okay, guys. Okay. I'm not hearing anything that's like brand new here. I think when it comes down to it, guys, I mean, listen, we do know that around certain times there's a whole lot of like virtual, like virtue signaling that kind of happens on both sides of the coin here. But there's one side that almost consistently seems to bait and switch. Ask around, and you kind of start to realize that seems to be a consistent thing here. I see one of you guys in the comments here talking about how reliable is Fox News. I think that's what you said here, guys. Hold on. Is that what you said? Is that what you said? Bro, all news is moderately troubling right now, like all of it. Everyone is just trying to basically sell a like a tagline here, or some type of headline. So you need to take anything and everything with like a grain of like legitimate salt here. In terms of Fox News, it all depends on what it actually is. I think Fox Business is a little bit slightly less of just overall opinion because, like, for example, this story here, they're just delivering the story and basically giving commentary on the story that's already kind of been out for at least the last couple of hours, at least, right? This is really just opinion, similar to CNN. It's just opinion. If you want to actually get news, I would say news is coming from like local news stations, almost specifically, because Fox News is more like Fox Opinion, and CNN is like CNN Opinion, right? MSNBC Opinion, right? You get what I'm saying here, guys. I mean, you have to be able to kind of critically think when you're like encountering like any of these things here, because, bro, you can get sucked up into this stuff fast without being able to have the ability to recognize what is kind of real and what is kind of just someone's opinion. And of course, most of this was here. Purely opinion here. But when it comes down to what they said earlier, though, in the video, about offering something to bring in new voters, right? That's not really much of an opinion. I guess it could be an opinion, sure, right? But it's not really much of one because there's like historical precedent to kind of back that statement there, guys. I mean, there are issues here. You promise something, never deliver it. This is not the first time this has happened historically. So that was the one thing that I can say would probably be super intelligent to kind of latch on to from this video here, because yeah, that's a consistent thing here, truth be told. But Fox or like, CNN or any of these things, guys, I mean, again, you have to be able to read through the lines, and some people just don't read through the lines here. They just take it as face value. But trust me when I say that's not me. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the second tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.